Up to 95% of hydrofluorosilicic acid, advanced manufacturing.
All right. Are you there?
Yep.
Okay, can I get your first name?
I'm Glenn.
Glenn? And where are you from, Glenn?
Nashville.
Nashville, Tennessee?
Correct.
And you're a first-time caller?
That's right.
Okay, and what do you want to talk about, sir?
Well, I want to discuss the InfoWars coverage of Andrew Wirtis from last year, the Chicken Man, you might remember. And an article I wrote an article about that Ethan Huff, one of Alex's reporters, had some involvement with, and just want to get some clarification.
All right. Okay, and how you listen to Alex today?
Online.
What website?
Well, actually, I'm on a Skype conference call. It isn't I'm not the one actually listening.
It's GCN Live.
GCN Live? Okay.
Thanks.
Okay. Thank you.
MOCs, water filtration devices, home canning equipment. The Genesis Communications Radio Network proudly presents The Alex Jones Show, because there's a war on for your mind.
All right, let's try to run through a bunch of your phone calls. We're going to do a fourth hour of Overdrive today that some stations do carry and is in the internet streams at Infowars.com. Richard Reeves is going to be in here talking about InfoWarsHealth.com and some really important developments on that front and a new study that's out, Clemson
I'm
study.
back.
And it also supports the broadcast, and it's also a business opportunity for folks. So we're funded by listeners like you, who we really appreciate. These are stressful times, man. People know the world's in a major time of change, and we've all, patriots, have got to stick together and really fight hard for liberty. Let's talk to Glenn in Tennessee. You're on the air. Live.com. Go ahead.
Well, good afternoon, Alex. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for holding. Welcome.
And a pleasure to be here, and I wanted to thank you. You have indeed woken a lot of people up, but I called today because I have a bit of a bone to pick with InfoWars on an article that I wrote last year that they used as one of their chief references, Ethan Huff, and that you have quoted on the show. And the meaning of the article kind of got...
What's the name of the article? Let me just get a pen here.
In Memoriam Andrew Wirtis. You remember Andrew, the Chicken Man, they called him.
Yes, the guy they basically killed.
Well, they did indeed, and my point was the banality of evil in this country, and the internal enemy is more dangerous than the external. As bad as Agenda 21 is...
Well, what did I do wrong? I sent reporters there to cover it, and I said it was wrong. They killed him.
But
what else can I do, man? I can't even keep track of what my own crew's doing half the time.
Understood. My point...
all-seeing, man.
I'll answer you if you'll allow me, sir.
Go ahead.
It's the reporters you sent turned it into an Agenda 21 story when it really wasn't. If you listen to his friends and family, it was the banality of evil of local bureaucrats doing this because they could.
I agree, and Agenda 21 empowers them with a more scientifically designed template to manifest their evil.
Yes, they do. But that was my point. I tried writing Ethan Huff to make the correction and never got a response, and that was the bone I had to pick.
Ethan Huff doesn't write for us, so we link to somebody's stuff. God bless you, sir. You know what? I am a piece of garbage. You're right.
I didn't call you that. Not a bit.
I'm sorry that I didn't do more. I really am. I don't know what I could do. I don't know how I do it. I tried to stop.
This was
I don't
a
like killing people for chickens in their backyard that are legal.
This was a correction, not a
correction. And I understand it's frustrating, but I'm a piece of garbage.
I think that's it.
Did we get hung up on?
Yeah, I'd say we got hung up on there.
Whoa.
Well, man,
Glenn, I'm glad you straightened it out.
At any point, I said, well, this is a correction, the internal enemy is worse than the external here, and they twisted it to make it an Agenda 21 story when it wasn't.
Can you tell us, people that are just tuning in, there's a few just coming on, exactly what we were trying to accomplish just then about an article that you had written a while back?
I wrote In Memoriam Andrew Wirtis about and I hate using the phrase, the Chicken Man they called him last spring. in Roswell, Georgia, who suicided when they finally, after years of harassment and hounding and poking and prodding and feeing and jailing and abusing this poor man, he sent up a flare by burning his house down with himself inside it. And my point was, this is the banality of evil. This is how deeply throughout our society it's entrenched, that these minor bureaucrats in this little podunk town could simply basically torture a man to death by 1,000 cuts. And in the article, I specified that there was some evidence that they had 30-year, advanced government planning to use his land, but that it was an ambiguous point whether it was Agenda 21 or not. I'm paraphrasing here. But if you look at the responses from his friends, his neighbors, and then me acknowledging, okay, this was indeed a bunch of rotten creeps doing it because they could do it. And they had power. This was a prime example of how corrupting power is and how dangerous it is because it's so widespread, even in little towns throughout the country.